Okay. All right, we're good. Post this, and then I've got to go. I've got to go to twitch.tv. I got to go to my stream. I got to go to my dashboard. I got to go to my video producer. And then we have to publish the Dragon Quest II VOD. We have to export it to YouTube. And then we have to download it. And that'll be good. And we'll be good to go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake stream. VOD if you're watching it on the VOD channel. All two of you. But I see you. Thank you. It's been a while. I was gonna stream back to back, but my voice continued to get worse and worse. Or rather, it didn't really change. And I realized that maybe the reason it wasn't like getting better as fast as I wanted it to is because I was streaming while I was, while it was bad and I was just wearing it out every day. So I took the weekend off, took a couple of days off. I took like Thursday and Friday off, took the weekend off. Yeah. So that's gonna be fun. And sorry, I don't know where I was going with that. So yeah, now we're back. We're gonna play the game. I swear to God, I've done this professionally for like 11 years. I can talk. I have the ability to use my voice for things. I say stuff all the time. Yeah. So we're gonna get into it in a second. I'm just gonna let people pile in if they decide to pile in today. Could just be me all day today, which would be interesting, exciting for the VOD watchers. A challenge for old GC. And then I gotta wait for this download to be ready so I can at least hit download before we open the game. Although I haven't, you know what? I haven't actually looked at the Game of the Year. I mean, the Game Award nominations. And everyone's like, on Blue Sky, everybody's like, oh my God, these are bad. Oh my God, these are not bad. Oh my God, oh, it's on December. The Game Awards are on my birthday. I'm so fucking cooked. God damn it. I was gonna do a birthday stream. Well, there's no way I'm doing it now. Fuck. Damn it. Well, the Gabe Cube is announced. It is. Anyway, let's look at the Game Award nominations real quick while people are jumping in. The page 404. Okay, let's try that again. Let's view the categories. Why is Game of the Year the first one I gotta pick? These are terrible nominations. These are bad. What about this one? something you got to understand when it comes to like the Game Awards. Oh, by the way, what I was saying is, a bunch of people were like, "Oh my god, these nominations suck," and a bunch of people were like, "Oh my god, everyone's complaining about the nominations," and then people were going, "Oh my god, everyone's complaining about the nominations," and that's kind of like the worst part of the discourse. I'm being rate limited. The owner of this website has banned you from temporarily accessing the website. Okay. That's probably just a bug. That's fine. But I'll be honest, I don't really hate Game Awards discourse. Like, it doesn't bother me that people do it. What bothers me is like, what bothers me more about people having discourse is people having discourse about people having discourse about discourse. Sorry, people having discourse about people having discourse. And that's kind of annoying. Cause like I feel like if you're seeing that stuff on your feed, you know, I would assume, maybe it's just me, but like I follow like my friends on social media. I don't really follow other people. I follow like people that I like, and I follow people who like, I mean, ideally I follow people because I want to see what they're talking about. And I just feel like, you know, you can complain about the way people behave or the things people talk about, or you can just like not engage with it. Because isn't that like your complaint? Isn't your complaint that people are engaging with something that you wish they wouldn't? You're engaging with something like you're engaging. I think there's a difference between like being like, hey, I think we should stop doing that, right? Versus, oh, this is going to be the most insufferable thing of all time. I think you can have an opinion that says we should stop talking about this. We shouldn't really focus on this. And you can advocate for a certain thing, right? But you don't have to like, at the same time, you don't have to treat that thing that people are doing as like the world's worst character trait. And it also is kind of like, aren't these people you know? Like, I don't know. I tend to want to like be respectful, or at least like give people I know the benefit of the doubt, or at least like make an effort to sort of understand like what they care about, or like why they care about it or something. I don't know. I feel like there's no like way to win in this situation if you're somebody who like gets annoyed about things, other than to just accept that you are someone that gets annoyed about things and sort of express that annoyance in a way that doesn't also like put other people down. I don't know, just an idea. Anyway, I think there's a way to do it. You know, I'm not saying you can't complain about it, because I also think it's annoying that people argue about the Game of the Year awards. But also, like, I think everyone that complains about the Game of the Year awards nominations that you follow on social media is aware of how stupid the Game Awards are as a concept. Like, I think most people know that award shows are nonsense. But like, you know, sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's fun to like crap on something like the Game Awards and like be annoying about their decisions and their nominations. One, because it, you know, if enough people do it, they see that. Okay. But two, because don't think like I don't think making fun of the Game Awards or complaining about the Game Awards nominations does anything for Jeff Keighley. If your problem is with Jeff Keighley, I don't know. I Ah, thank you. Okay, this is a great post by Giovanni Colantonio. Mario Prime on Blue Sky. MarioPrime.bsky.social. He writes, two things can be true. The Game Awards are meaningless, and we shouldn't take them all that seriously. And award shows of its scale do rewrite the mainstream history of the art form, whether they deserve to or not, and it's okay to care that it's so thoughtless despite having that responsibility. I really like that. Because, yeah, those things can be true. It could be meaningless, but we can also sort of, like, use it as a metric for, like, where the industry is headed and what the mainstream history, like, industry cares about, and, like, you know, the results of the Game Awards show will sort of be indicative of what the sentiment of the time period was, or at least it'll be what people remember the sentiment of the time period as. I think that's worth discussing. I think that's worth criticizing. I think that's worth examining and investigating. And if you don't want to, then maybe you just don't care, man. That's okay. And that's okay. Maybe you just don't care that much. I say this as a guy that cares way too much about everything. Sometimes you have to realize that the reason you're annoyed is that you just don't care that much. You just don't care that much about what's being said. And that's okay. That's okay. I get annoyed by my friends talking about stuff too. I do. I keep my annoyance at a certain degree. And I understand that my annoyance is from within. I am annoyed about something. But there's a bunch of people out there that are not annoyed about this thing. And like, you gotta kind of, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, I am crazy, but all the games except Donkey Kong. Oh, hello, Sailor. I follow the Oscars every year and I have my thoughts and hopes, but at the end of the day, I just appreciate that I often get exposed to great films. Yeah, that too. Like, sometimes, you know, whatever. I will say the Game of the Year nominations this year they're the only ones I got to see before they banned me from looking at more because of website traffic. But I will say the Game of the Year nominations this year are kind of, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about Hades 2 being up there. I feel like Hades 2 is up there because Hades was up there. But like, I don't think it should be up there, to be honest. I'm sorry if anybody disagrees. Anyway. And I like Hades. I like most of Supergiant's games. I think I like all of them. I actually, I've made videos on all the Supergiant games except Hades 2, which I should get around to doing because I've sort of like, I like their games and I like covering their games. Even though like in the long run, I tend to completely miss the point of what their games are about. Or at least I seem to miss the point. I seem to get very different things out of those games than other people do. And I assume then the people that make them want me to get it out of it. But yeah. But I do like covering their games. It's very fun. Right. We're here to play Dragon Quest. We're not here to talk about the Game Awards. Let's do it. As always, folks. As always. We are here today to enjoy the beautiful, amazing Dragon Quest II, a game that I have lower on my tier list originally because they were older games. I mean, they just, that's you're more the bigger budget, more realized visions of Dragon Quest were just de facto, better. I just think they were better. Sometimes I hate to tell people this. Sometimes I hate to say this because people are gonna misconstrue it, but sometimes production value really does make a huge difference in the quality of a game or a movie or a song. And it's yes, you can definitely love something to bits that doesn't have high production value. I certainly do. I certainly have in the past. But be honest, you have to be honest with yourself and accept the fact that yeah, if any of those things had a bigger budget and did the things that they did, you would like them even more. That's the Princess of Moonbrook. She's a dog right now. Sorry to spoil it for anybody. But it's one of the most famous thing. Oh, the Tombola. Tombola. Yes, I would love to spend Tombola tickets. I can get golden claws. What are the odds? 10 spins in succession for 10 tickets. I'm gonna do that. How many tickets do I have? Hang on. You give me a goddamn second. Ooh, propeller blade. Give me that. I'm a martial artist. I'm the fighter of the group. Sorry, not me. What's his name again? Gawain. Gawain. Named after Princess Gwaelin, who might have also been named after the Knight Gawain. Where are my Tombola tickets? I have 2 Tombola tickets. I would like to wait until I have 10 Tombola tickets. For some reason, I just feel like my odds of getting a better item will go up, even though that's not how probability works. Maybe there's a secret, because I'm thinking gacha game rules, and I'm thinking, well, in gacha games, if you roll 10, usually you get a freebie, or your odds are better. They designed it that way. So I'm let's try that. Let's investigate that. Even though I won't be able to get any data out of that because I just won't. I won't be able to do it more than once. But and then last time we played, I remember now. Last time we played, we had just got into Moonbrook. And we are now investigating and looking for... We have to go to Moonbrook, the castle of Moonbrook, for it. Yes. And this is not Moonbrook. This is Leftwyn. Is this Leftwyn? No, that's not Leftwyn. This is Moonahan, which is slightly before the kingdom of Moonbrook. I remember. Bronze shield, stone hard hat for 5 points of defense. Steel broadsword's pretty good. Might grab that. Bronze armor gives me 9 points of defense. Sorry, yeah, 9 points of defense. 9 points for me, 11 points for Caradoc. Why does Caradoc get more defense out of that? Huh? Well, I will actually give him that. I cannot get my broadsword anymore unless we sell all of these plain clothes. I have 2 feathered caps. Are the feathered caps better than my hardware? No. But what I will do is I will sell one, keep another for Moonbrook, because I get the feeling she's going to need one. Leather shield can go, oak club can go, copper swords can go, leather hats can go, pot lid can go, bronze knife can go, wayfarer's clothes can go. Shell shield can go. I think I missed like some special text for selling that guy a pot lid, but that's fine. I'll take the broadsword now. And then we will then sell the chain sickle, so we don't need it anymore. Sell the leather armor, sell the leather hat, sell the thing, sell the rapier, or the rapier. Bronze shield or bronze armor. It's a 1 point difference. It's a 1 point difference. But it's almost a 200 gold difference. It is a 160 gold difference. So we'll get a bronze shield instead. That saves me money. I had another chain sickle in my inventory. We don't need the divine dagger. We're gonna end up completely blowing past that. And then I have enough for another bronze armor, so I can double up, or I can just kind of get Caradoc up to parity, or just to have more defense than I do, which wouldn't be a bad idea. And then we've also got stone hard hats, but either way, I'm only making one. I can only make one more purchase. So it's either going to be a bronze armor or a bronze shield. I think the Prince of Caradoc's biggest weakness is that he's very squishy. So we are going to try to make him... we're going to prioritize defense on him. Simply because I'm pretty sure Gawain... The way Gawain kind of like levels up in the long run, he doesn't really... Like, by the end of the game, Prince of Midenhall just kind of... He can just take whatever the fuck. Like, if I remember right, in my playthrough Dragon Quest II so many years ago, I was really annoyed by the Prince of Cannock constantly dying. And the Prince of Midenhall was just eating... Just absolutely eating attacks. You could not fucking kill that guy. So we're going to do that. And then I will put on the anti-bedazzlement accessory on him because he does more physical attacks than Caradoc does. Do I have nose for treasure yet? I don't. Okay. Well, I know there's more in there. We were in there already. We looked in there. We did that. Oh, I really want more Tombola tickets so I can just do it now. What if there's more than one Tombola place, though? Because if there's more than one Tombola place, then I want to, like, you know... Can I use... Hold on. Can I get the puppy to follow me? And then use a key item. Hey, Rambro. No, it doesn't do anything. Okay. So I cannot, like... I cannot get her yet. I probably gotta go find the mirror. If I remember right, you get the mirror or something. And that, like, lets you expose her true self to you. Sorry, that sounded... Never mind. Free dog? In a sense... In a sense, I'm gonna go up. Wait, didn't we come from there? Where did we come from? That looks like we've been there before, but it doesn't at the same time. Because I think that's Moonbrook. I think we came from up here. And for whatever reason, that shrine doesn't have another exit. So I think we'll just go this way. We'll just go to the right. Oh, I forgot to heal. We gotta go back. Oops. This is... Oh, god damn it, Caradoc. You're so fucking lame. I think I'm gonna die. Oh, thank god. That's right, Middenhall died on our way here. Middenhall died on our way here, so we didn't explore the north area. We're gonna do it. I saw your post, and I think a birthday stream bash sounds fun. Yeah, I think so too. I'm gonna have to pick a different day than my birthday because the Game Awards are on my birthday. What was this? I did good business and it's also amongst the woods to the east of here. It was raised by fiends. I myself fled to the shrine to the southwest, hoping to serve the soldiers of Moonbrook. They are steadfast to a fault. Not only do they keep a tight guard on the shrine, they do the same with their purse strings, refusing to ever buy more than they need. I mean, yeah. They're broke. They've got no kingdom anymore. That's 4 tombola tickets. Somebody keep track. Just in your brain. And then when we get 10, we'll spend them all. But yeah, I do want to do a birthday stream. One, because I like doing something. I want to do something for my birthday. You know? But also because I would like to try to raise some money for my moving expenses. Which, yeah, I am in possession of it. No, I'm not. Do not fret. Purchase sufficient goods from the item shop and you might get one. Oh, thank you for the hint. So if I buy stuff from the item shop, she'll give me a tombola ticket? Okay. I'll take 4 Chimera wings. And I will buy a full stack of medicinal herbs. You didn't give me any. You lying cheat. The signs of Scion. What does that mean? But yeah, I want to do a birthday stream to sort of like try to raise some money for moving and to celebrate my birthday. Because I think that'd be fun. You are not compelled to, you know, give me any money, by the way. How far are we? Exactly where we left off? Yes, last stream. We got to Moonahan and then I closed the game. Congrats on a good birthday. It'll be on December 11th. Good, because I'm broke as shit. Everybody is. Why do you think I'm trying to raise money for moving? Actually, that's not true. I can afford moving without it, but I would like it to be less tight. Yeah. I think maybe like we'll do the stream on that Friday. Because Game Awards are on Thursday, but 2 tombola tickets? Oh my god. Head south and east of here along the mountains and eventually you'll come across a rather peculiar mage. He speaks he speaks of naught but scrolls. Isn't this place kind of peaceful? Yeah. Sure, man. I mean, it is, but like you are aware it's because like they blew a kingdom up, right? It's quiet because, like, humanity was, like, eviscerated here. This is where they died. Bro. I swear there's gotta be, like, more treasure around here. But without like, Snoop and Nose for Treasure, I'm not gonna be able to find it, I don't think. And today I don't seem to have the patience I've had in previous streams. Where I would, like, spend way too long figuring that shit out. So we're done here. I don't think there's any sparkle spots that I missed up there, so I think we're good. There's free real estate in in, in Moonbrook. Classism. All right, but he's not like, his spells are also kind of poopy.
You look cold.
You look cold. Very nice, Cannock. Very good. You are of some use to me yet. Yeah, so we went up there already. So now I think we can go around and up and then come back down and cross the bridge to this little town area here. And that'll be more useful. And then we have to go there as well. I think we should go to Moonbrook first. We should go to Moonbrook first because it's probably going to force me to turn around and go around that huge, like, interconnected little island area there. Damn, Cannock's already at half HP. Good lord. You got hit once, dude. Fuck. This guy's so pathetic. So Moonahan. This is a toughie. They're resistant to fire. This sucks. Oh well, the hair's kind of an easy kill. Let's do ice on the Cobra King. Yes, Cobra King is weak to ice. Good to know. Alrighty. Do another stone's throw and just attack anybody. I don't care, Cannock. Nice. We should have picked up antidotes. Oh, but I got plenty. We're fine. I can't collect my points. Messed up, Twitch. Twitch always be doing stupid stuff like that. Dragon Quest. Little Beast. Do I have a boomerang? No, but Cannock does. But that kind of sucks. He also can't use it. So it's a Moonbrook item? What the hell? Okay, whatever. Nice. And we're good. Hold on, I gotta... Oh, there's a sparkly spot over there. We're going. We're going. Nope. Pointless message. We'll just do crack. It's better than... You know what? The move for these snakes is probably just use your basic attack and crack. That's probably a better... Although this combo worked too, so just basic attack. Stone throw first turn. Yeah, it kind of evens out. Yeah. I like that. Okay. Pillar of the Winds is down. Best viewers on streamboo.com. Oh my god. Get out of here. Who the fuck cares about the best viewers? What does that mean? Okay, that worked. Finally, an enemy that isn't resistant to fire. That's bad. You should heal yourself. Yep. I'm still asleep? That's great. At least the heals are decent. Wake up! Jesus. Kill this thing. Thank God heals like spell speed is big, is fast. Motherfucker! I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. Do I have magic water? 1 magic water. Ooh, that's all Moonbrook items, but yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean you can? I'm so confused. Why wouldn't? Oh, I looked at it through the item menu. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Okay, you can totally use boomerangs. I just looked at it from the wrong menu. Damn it. How could I be so stupid? Oh, come on. Oh, fuck. This is a mess. How many herbs do I have? A lot. I think they're too strong. Not even gonna lie. Let's cross back over to the other continent real quick. You're gonna sizzle. When the fat rats come out sizzling. Is that what the kids are saying these days? Is that like is that topical? Is that what that was like popular? You know? No? Yes? Never mind. Zap? So soon? I don't know when Dragon Quest decided Zap was gonna be like a low level ability. I guess it's when they properly gave Zap like a 3-tier progression. Alright, Caradoc. Iron, stop putting me to sleep. Stop. Stop. Please. Please, God. I am begging you. I'm gonna get traumatized by the amount of sleep that this game is hitting me with. Please, please, stop. Good Lord. Ooh. Hello. Poison Moth. 3 tombola tickets. I have 10. All right, we're gonna go do that now. Just give me a. What was I doing? Right. I need to see if the knife is good. Sometimes paralyzed foes. So I don't think I will. I think I'll give that to Moonbrook. A corpse of what? Corpse corporals. I think we can just basic attack them. Yeah. They are not that strong. Deserted village. Hey, man. I did lose myself in foraging for food, so when I saw that I was here. Tis a place famous for the spirits that do haunt us every crevice and corner. You would do well to leave here, ere you eye something terrifying. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Oh, that's the wrong. That's the wrong version of that song. Fuck. Sorry. Oh God. I need a thief key or a magic key to get in. Okay. Moonbrook is down the way. Oh, that's a secret spot. Hold on. Boston makes me feel good. Alright. 2 barrels. Okay. And a bag. Now, usually there's only 3 treasures per secret spot. But I think we should come back to these secret spots later and use our ability to suss out more treasure. But for now, I think we're good. Monkey! The bad boon! Forgot about the bad boon. I'm gonna zap you. Oh, never mind. Cattle prod works perfectly fine to deal with that situation. Perfectly well. A perfectly well solution. Perfectly fine solution. I think basic attacks killed them, so I'm just gonna do that. Yeah. These zombies ain't shit. Okay, so that's where I was coming from. A group of smog? Is it just smog? It's not gonna show. I'm pretty sure fire will work. Nope. It's just smog. Okay. Not a very creative name, but that's okay. It was a different time. Yeah, so single target is just always gonna be better against these for the time being. I bet propeller blade works really well against them because it's wind. Ooh. And I could probably stir them up. Too stunned to move. Sorry, kiddo. Oh. Not weak to zap. Good to know. I hate it when the sparkly spots don't give me, like, good stuff. I can't stand it. I can't stand it when it's just lame garbage. Propeller blade. I'm pretty sure Sizz is not gonna work. Let's try crack. Okay. Whatever. Wait. Okay, so the physical version, the physical part of that attack. So propeller blade does physical damage and then wind damage. Is what I'm understanding here. So the physical damage is resistant to, but the wind damage it is weak against. So if I had a wind spell, I could hurt it pretty good. Good to know. That's good data for later. We probably need to do a quick heal. And we're out of MP, so that's a problem. Oh, a secret spot. That's a problem. Dun, 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 dun. There's got to be a hidden item here, right? Knowest thou scrolls? There's got to be a ton of scrolls in that Moonbrook Kingdom, man. I love, like, it's only been like a week, maybe. It's only been like a week since Moonbrook, like, collapsed. But everyone's talking about the Moonbrook Kingdom like it was destroyed aeons ago. That's really funny. People have already gotten over it. There's no items here. You gotta be fucking kidding me. You're a goddamn liar, man. Oh, whatever. What the hell ever. Let's keep going. Oh, wait, that's a secret spot over there. Or sparkly, there's a sparkly spot over there. Yeah, bro, just put on your boomerang and get tossing. Get the tossing. We're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. You can prevent me from casting spells all you want. I have no MP. Not that you can see that. Oh, speaking of Dragon Quest and like games like it, I started playing Moon 2 days ago. I skipped yesterday. I didn't play more yesterday, but wow. I love that game. That game's fun. Moon is a really fun game. We're just gonna fly back because that's like right there. And then I guess we'll just use the Tombola tickets while we're here. Moon is really, really fun. I didn't realize how badly I needed a systems light game to play. Oh shit. You're kidding. Is that the prize? Ah. Oh, damn it. So close. Normally, I'd love more creative non-combative game. Personally, I'd love more creative non-combative games. Yeah, I really like Moon. I was really like, I was looking for like a non. I was like, I needed a game without a lot of like heavy systems because that's all I've been playing recently. So rather, I didn't realize I needed it until I started playing Moon. Not only is Moon like really fun, Moon is also kind of a parody of Dragon Quest, or it's like a satire on Dragon Quest or something like that in that area. It's like a criticism of like traditional RPGs from 1997. That game's from 1997. They were already making fun of the fact that the hero in Dragon Quest was just looting people's houses as early as 1997. Here I was thinking that that was a joke Dorkly made in like the 2000s, 2010s era of like YouTube, like shitty skit parodies. But no, that joke is even older than that. And willing to kill people's dogs, yeah. That joke is so old. I was shocked. I was shocked. I was like, I can't believe that this joke is this old. Which makes it even funnier that Dragon Quest XI pokes fun at itself for that. I love that. I was like pleasantly happy about that. Chrono Trigger did it first. What year is Chrono Trigger? What year was Chrono Trigger? And it's probably an even older joke than that. Is Chrono Trigger 95? Yeah. I hope the VOD records that I guessed 95 before Beast wrote 95. So that people think that I'm super cool. Because I did totally remember that it was from 95 before it was said. Something smells wonderful in the kitchen right now. I'm hungry. If you like Moon, play Stray Children. So Moon, I'll explain Moon further. Moon is a classic adventure game. It is a classic adventure game that Toby Fox has said inspired Undertale. It is the game that inspired Undertale. And it is a game where you are in a world. You are brought to a world and you are told that you must collect the love of the world and create love to level up. And it is basically, the best way I can put it, it is basically a point and click game that uses like action game controls. So like don't think point and click in the sense of like, oh, I have to like you solve puzzles, but you are like walking around and hitting an interact button and stuff. It is very cheap as well. Yes, it was recently on sale actually. And it's really fun. I was really happy about it. I was pleasantly surprised by Moon. Also, the soundtrack doesn't get unlocked. You don't get the music in the game until a little bit into the game, where you literally buy. One of the coolest things about Moon that I feel like I need to tell people, because like I feel like that'll sell people on Moon, is the soundtrack for Moon. You go to a place in the game and you buy records, and you can put records into a music player that you carry around, and they are real songs by independent artists from 1997. If I understand it correctly, like it is real music. Some of which is like the bands of the people that worked on the game. And you get quizzed on them. It's awesome. When I got to that part, I was like, this game's sick as hell. Also, if you look at for people that this bothers, it did bother me at first, but I actually got into it and I was like, no, this is actually like really good for the aesthetic of the game. It does have like a weird like VHS or like CRT filter on it. You can turn that off. So they did add an option to turn off the CRT filter, so that the pixel art looks more crisp and stuff. But I actually think it adds a lot to the game, personally speaking. Anyway, I'm so mad that they put me to sleep again. Why does every enemy in this area know sleep? Like almost every enemy, okay, 2 of the enemies that we encounter in this area can put people to sleep, but that's too many. We're gonna go into Moonbrook. I think it looks better with the CRT on, but that's just me. Personally, yes, it grew on me a lot. So I was like thinking about turning it off, and I was like swapping back and forth at the very start of the game, and then eventually I was like, no, you know what? I like it more with the filter on. So I left it on, but it's really fun. If you like Majora's Mask, if you like the way Majora's Mask handles, it's like daily system, like it's like day-night cycle system, and you like the way. So basically, the whole game, almost the whole game, is basically the way Majora's Mask has like people that have like their own unique schedules, and you help solve their problems essentially by interacting with them in different parts of the day. So that's like in and of itself like an entire like string of puzzles and stuff to do. It's a really cool game. It is a really cool game. I really like that game. I'm probably gonna go play it tonight, or later or after the stream.
Do you remember coming here when we were children? It was resplendent. Flowers as far as the eye could see. Shining marble from ceiling to floor. The Queen, so beautiful, before her untimely passing. Now all that remains is this. I never imagined for a moment that the devastation would be so extreme. This is too much. We can but pray that the king and the princess escaped in time. Come, let us explore further.
Almost forgot this game had like voiced cutscenes now.
Your Majesty.
First time playing Clear Obscure? Enjoy.
Oh, so.
I liked most of that game, but the parts I didn't like were very frustrating for me and very annoying.
Your Majesty, we are here.
No redemption. Evil such as this.
Oh, he's haunted.
Daughter. My beloved daughter. I beg of thee. Live.
He was already gone. I did not know what it meant to die. For a kingdom to fall. To have everything that one holds dear taken.
Damn.
Why would anyone? What was that? Could there yet be survivors? Quick, let us hurry to the courtyard. The noise came from there.
I love that the whole thing is done in Shakespearean English. Fuck. God, I love it. Ultimate key chest. We'll be back for you. We will be back for you. Oh no, an iller pillar. Well, for now I can't kill that yet. It has too much high defense, so my time is better spent killing the Zambonis. Oh, it actually doesn't have that much health. Oh, I stand corrected. Okay. Turns out the strategy I was employing to be safe is like the right one. I'm pretty sure there's like a mini medal or something in front of that knight statue. We're gonna have to level up soon here, folks. I need MP. I need MP badly. Actually, can I use the wizard staff as an item here? Yeah. Well, it's weak to fire anyway, so that didn't help. Okay. Yeah, it does more damage just whacking them. Cannock reaches level 12. What the hell? How come I didn't get level 12? Oh, how serendipitous. Stopped me right on top. The fiends we had kept in prison, they too attacked. How long have they planned this wickedness? Probably a long time, my man. Undead Undoer. Gimme. We need it right now. Oh, both of you can learn it. Okay, both of you can learn it, but Cannock is the spellcaster, so Gawain's getting it. I don't think I'll ever play Clair Obscure. It's also because it's not on a platform I'm interested in. My personal opinion on Clair Obscure is that it's really interesting, and like it is a very, very good, pretty game. Like it is a very pretty game, and I totally like, you know, I see it and I'm like, okay, like I totally get what people see in it. I think it kind of loses the plot at the end. I don't want to spoil anything because, you know, Beecher's playing it. But like, I think it kind of like loses it loses the plot at the end. It kind of like just decides to be something completely different at the end. And what I mean by that is, it seems like it's building up to have a certain message, a certain takeaway that I like, and then it pulls the rug out from that very suddenly without like really like. Without making great justification for it. I sort of feel like it just suddenly becomes thematically opposed to everything it had been championing up to that point. And I think if what that says to me, what the way that I came away from that is like I feel like they were setting something up, right? And I think the writer, what it seems to me as someone who like has written stuff before and like knows a decent amount, I would like to say, about like writing stuff and like writing creative fiction, creative writing, fiction writing, fantasy writing, whatever you want to call it. It feels like the writer wanted to have that like turnaround moment that a lot of writing, especially a lot of RPG writing in video games, tends to do, where your hero starts with one perspective and then ends up having the opposite perspective by the end of the game. But they didn't do it well, in that there isn't enough structure there. There isn't enough sort of build up to that. There isn't enough of sort of challenging one's perspective to make that to have made that satisfying by the end. And that's sort of how I feel about it without saying too much. Yeah. I don't think, see, that's the problem, is that I think people are giving it too much credit by saying that it's challenging. It's not that I don't think it's challenging, it's that I don't think it presents a good enough argument. Like if you if you agree with it, I still don't think it's like well presented. And that's really what I play video games for, and like that's really what I personally get out of video games. I don't get I don't inherently write things off if I don't agree with it ideologically. But I do get sort of feel very underwhelmed or very like, oh, okay, about it. Like I am sort of like, I do end up having unsatisfactory experiences when what a game is saying is poorly presented. And like, even if a game were to like speak to my ideology or speak to my truth, I would still find it kind of poorly done if I feel like it did not present that ideology in like a very like interesting way or effective way. I just got an Act 2 yesterday. Yeah. But I also have to be careful about spoiling it because this is going to be a VOD. So, but yeah, like, pre-written paragraphs all at once. I think the ending to Clair Obscur is more interesting from a technical point of view, from like the point of view of like studying, like breaking down the success of the writing. I think it's more interesting from that perspective than it is from whatever it's actually trying to say, is ultimately how I feel about it. And I also feel like certain things that it did in its story sort of get in the way of getting behind that idea, simply because a lot of the world building elements of Clair Obscur, or of Expedition 33, a lot of the world building elements sort of get in the way of that, because in order for Expedition 33 to have the message that it has, in order for it to do what it's doing, it needs, in order for it to have been successful, you kind of have to ignore very important details about the world of Clair Obscur that would actually make a difference in those situations, in that dilemma. No, Peter, you don't have to leave. Like, I feel like the world building of Clair Obscur gets in the way of its overall message, or its overall like belief, and it's like you went too far in your world building, and you did too much with that world to then turn around and say that, and it's like, it's not this, it's sort of like it is it sort of defeats itself because it provides a really good counter argument and makes no effort to like convince you that that counter argument is bad. Is the like it makes a great counter argument for itself. And ultimately it's like ultimately I feel like it just kind of it's a little all over the place by the end of it is my personal opinion. Yeah. I find a lot of people think that the game is saying something that it's actually not at the end is my final thought here. Yeah. That's also my opinion as well. I think the game is saying something that people think the game is saying something that it's actually not at the end, but I also think that the game does a very poor job of not making clear what it's saying, but it makes a very poor job of like it makes a very poor job of supporting its own thesis. For lack of a better way of putting it. Where am I? Where am I walking? Unfortunately, we can't have those kinds of conversations with general audiences and people that are on the internet because everybody wants to argue about like everybody wants to argue about stupid shit that doesn't matter, I guess. Most people can't read, first of all. True. No, I mean, I just think people I just need to remember that not everybody looks at this stuff from like a point of like academics. And unfortunately, that's how I look at things. I look at things from the lens of like I take an academic perspective to it. And most people don't do that. And you got to remember that, and you have to understand that like that's still perfectly valid. That is still perfectly valid. I guess what I'm more frustrated about, right? The actual frustrating thing about that is that I would like to have these kinds of conversations, but unfortunately, many people are not interested in it, nor do they look at games from that perspective. Most people don't. And that can be frustrating if you're someone who wants to have a conversation like that. Yeah. And that's okay. And that's okay. You know, that's fine. That's totally fine. Because I'm like that for other stuff. So, whatever. But it is frustrating when you're on the other side of it. Ah, God damn it. I was supposed to check the castle courtyard. Is this not the courtyard? You just got to find people who are willing to engage in that way? Yeah. But then the social anxiety hits, and it's like, I'll talk to my friends about it like this. And then I feel like I'm, like, annoying my friends by talking about it that way. The curse. It's easier to, like, talk about... It's easier to be annoying with strangers than it is to be annoying with your friends. Because if you're annoying with your friends, you know, they don't want to hang out with you. But if you're annoying to strangers, who gives a shit? You're not going to see him again. I don't know. That's just my hang-ups. Don't mind me. Oh, the courtyard is the fucking staircase, right? It's downstairs, right? No. We have to run. No! We're dead. We're so dead. It's over. We're gonna stone's throw, and then we're gonna just boomerang. Fuck you. You piece of shit. Ooh, I hit everybody. Good job, Carrot Dog. But yeah. But overall, I really like Clair Obscur. I think some of the character writing in that is great, by the way. I really like the way characters are written in Clair Obscur. I love the performances. I love the writing in that regard. Like, I do think that has like some pretty fun dialogue. Sometimes a little clunky. Okay, sometimes it can be a little weird. But I really like a lot of the stuff there. I think the actors do a lot to like elevate the script as well. But yeah. I am somewhat perturbed though about the ending and some of the combat, some of the game design of Clair Obscur is a little weird. It's a little all over the place. My main Clair Obscur is not a common one, and it's not entirely fair. What is it? If you can say without spoiling stuff, what is it? No manual saves? I agree with that. Wait, are there no manual saves? I don't remember. I don't remember that. I mean, I believe you, because you're playing it right now, but I did not know that. I could have sworn I had manual saves. Oh well. While the art style is very well put together and clever, makes a lot of references, the enemy types just come together looking like a big rock 90% of the time, and other designs of them stick with me. I think that's a fair criticism. You can force Clair Obscur to save if you change equipment. Oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, some of the enemies, I think the enemy designs look cool, but yeah, they do be just rock guys for the most part. And by the way, I want to make it clear, I beat everything in Clair Obscur. I am one achievement away from having all the achievements, and the only achievement I'm missing is getting everyone to level 99. So like, when I say that I take issue with some of the stuff in Clair Obscur, it's not because I'm bad at the game.
Must have been the sound of rubble or some such falling. There's no life here. Not anymore.
I think it's very busy. It's very cluttered. I think the systems are very interesting, and I like the way they come together, but the interface is like really annoying, and some of the way they handle the materia system is like kind of defeats the purpose of having it.
I suggest we visit it on our way home.
So I would actually want a sequel to Clair Obscur to have less systems at play.
Mayhaps someone there might know.
I would actually like them to have less stuff going on. What are they called? The taints? Sorry, not that. That's not what they're called.
High east to the shrine.
The marks, whatever, the things you can equip. I think those should be changed a little bit. Those need to kind of be reworked.
Well, that's
the fact that pictures have the ability to say build templates is wild.
Whoever it was.
That's the queen, dog.
It seemed they have other.
Oh, you thought I wasn't paying attention to the game, did you?
Shrine to the east, was it?
But I was paying
It's
attention.
the wellest thing, though. I'm certain I have heard that voice before. I just cannot place it. But what I do know is that our quest is not done yet. Eastwards we go. I knew you would agree. You feel it too, do you not? We can trust her. Anyhow, let us take our leave. I would fain be gone from this mournful place.
Yeah, but first I'm going downstairs, bro. No. Hey, whoa. Do not. Okay. About to piss me off. The Picto Scissors have save build templates, and also I think it's I think the Picto system should have also been the equipment system. I don't think there should have been two sets of equipment. Or rather, sorry, it's just the weapon and the Pictos. I think like they gotta do something. If they're gonna make a sequel to this that plays like similarly, and they're gonna keep Pictos as like a concept, they gotta change the way the Pictos behave. Because they don't they have like this kind of like inherent flaw to it. I don't want to go into it because I literally can't remember because I played that game when it came out. But I remember going like, this needs to like get tweaked a little bit to be a little better. Because you kind of like eventually like so Pictos give you stats. Okay? Pictos give you stats when you equip them. But like in order to master Pictos, you have to change them out. And because the UI is the way it is, as a player, you never really it never really clicks that the Pictos are armor, and like that's how you like build a character. It's the combination of ability and armor and like stat buffs that the Pictos give you that creates like the you know, the stuff that's what creates like the character build, or that's like a huge part of the character build. And as a player, you never really like get into that concept. 90% of the comments are about that mage woman's feet. Well, yeah, because you know, people are like that. Anyway, we're not playing Clair Obscure, we're playing Dragon Quest. I was trying to remember what else was on that, what else was nominated for Game of the Year. I just remember looking at all of it and going, I don't think any of this is that good. I was like, I don't think anything was that good. I guess, like, I feel like Death Stranding 2 is gonna take it just by virtue of, like, being the least divisive game that came out this year. By virtue of being the least divisive game that came out this year, Death Stranding 2 will win. And also Kojima darling. But like honestly, like Kojima kind of earns that reputation. Every now and then you get a creative who is like a critical darling, but also like actually like does things that are interesting and like transcends the art form or whatever you want to say, however fucking pretentiously you want to put it. Every now and again you get a creative who is like love his work or hate his work, like it is interesting, like it is compelling stuff, you know? Like the way people look at, like the way Hideo Kojima games work is like, you're not looking at Hideo Kojima's, like, you're not looking at Death Stranding from this perspective of like, okay, so how does it fall along like the spectrum of video games being good or bad? You look at it you genuinely do look at it from a perspective of like, what is Kojima doing this time? And it's like, I think that's pretty cool. I feel bad for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I've been told that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is much better than the first one, but still, like, I also know that a lot of the people that I know that have played it are also still like kind of like about it. Staff of Anti-Magic. It's not worth it. I'll sell you the Dazzle Me Nuts. Yeah, fuck it, we'll get it. I got the money for it. Hey, man. Ah, shit, we can't go. Okay, in that case, we will Chimera Wing back to town to heal. because we are in dire straits for that. The first one was already great. Yeah. And then we are talking as though Silksong isn't in the room. I'm gonna be so real. Silksong came out and a bunch of people I know played it, and a bunch of people that I know that were super excited for Silksong do not think Silksong is that good. Using a helping you creator for social brownie points and then leaving them high and dry and being smug about it. Fuck you, Jeff. Was he? Silksong has that hype backlash that CO33 doesn't have. Yeah. That was destined to happen, though. It was, but like, I also know people that Silksong came out and they were like, "Oh, it's as good. It was so worth the wait." Whoa. So like, I don't think it's entirely true that it's like. I genuinely don't think the Silksong underwhelming effect is a result of how long it took to come out and like the hype drain. He was asked about it and said, "Nobody gets to tell me how to use my platform." I mean, no one is telling you how to do it. They're just asking you to like be consistent, Jeffy. And to like, I don't know, use it for good. People aren't telling you how to use it. They're just asking you to use it in a certain way and are hopeful that you will listen. And you know, maybe I'm speaking out of pocket here, Mr. Jeff Keighley, but if people are still willing to communicate with you concerns and criticisms and they're willing to tell you these things and ask you to be different, I think it's because they believe you are a person of decent enough character to hear them out. I just feel like if people didn't think you were like any good for that sort of thing, they just wouldn't talk to you at all about it, and they would just like treat you the way they treat the president of the United States, which is to just fucking say some of the worst things about you. You know, I don't know. I think a little perspective is important here, Mr. Jeff Keighley. I don't think you are as hated as you may think you are. Anyway.
Let me warm you up.
So, yeah. Blueprints. I really hope Blueprints win something. See, that's it. See, okay. That's the problem with me and the Game Awards stuff is that, like, I am one of those people where I'm like, if I'm not one of those people that believes that a good premise should be better than actually making a good game. Because I think if you have a good premise, you should back that up by actually making a good game that, you know, sells people on that premise. And I don't think it's like I don't think your good premise is worth shit if you put it in a bad game. I'm gonna be so real. Like if you have a good premise, if you have a good premise for a video game, but you end up making like a sucky video game, I'll give you points for a cool premise, but like I'm not gonna recommend people play it because that's just not like, I don't believe in style over function. I don't believe in style over substance. I can get style everywhere. You know, there's good games that have style and cool premises that are also good games, you know? But I do think Blueprints is a really good example of like a game that has like a really cool premise that also is pretty good. And it hurts my soul knowing that Blueprints might get snubbed at the Game Awards, if only because like I want games like that to win awards because it sends a message to the industry. And I think that's sort of like what we were talking about earlier at the start of the stream, where it's like, hey, you know, Game Awards don't really mean anything. Like award shows truly don't mean much in terms of like whether or not a game was actually good or not, right? But certain things winning at the Game Awards does send a message to the mainstream executives who have no idea what video games is, and they just kind of like want to make games that will win at the Game Awards, because in their brains winning at the Game Awards means selling a lot of copies, right? So in a very like roundabout way, yeah, the Game Awards are important. Not for the creatives, not in the sense of like, oh, you know, if this game wins Game of the Year, then nobody can argue that it's not a good game. More so in the idea from the perspective of, if a game wins Game of the Year, you can 100% expect games after that get made after that to try to embody those things. You can expect the games that come out after it to try and like copy it in some kind of way and influence the industry, and it will influence the way games are made in the future. Which is why games that like have AI in it winning awards is sort of like a big deal, because if a game wins Game of the Year, and through that game's development, the people that made it were like championing using Gen AI for it and stuff like that, then corporate executives who have power over the creatives that make video games will tell those creatives they have to use Gen AI in some way, shape, or form in order for them to market it with those things, because that's the new hotness, because that's how like investors and corporate executives sort of view the landscape. You know, they love being early adopters and taking risks on trends, because they view it as, because trends are easy for short-term gains. And then the long term doesn't matter, because they can always just fire people and restructure and frame it as like a positive change. And I guess for whatever reason, stakeholders and investors are this sort of out of touch, where you can tell them that's what you're doing. Or maybe they know and they don't care because the system is broken and they know it's broken, and like, you know, they can just benefit off the system. You know, they don't care about the long-term results, because they too are there for the short-term benefits, short-term profits. The Outer Worlds just came out. How is it even nominated? It came out last month, and video game industry people whose job it is to cover games have played it, and that is the panel that is on. Those are the people that are on the panel for the Game Awards. So like, they played it, is the short answer. It was played. And somebody probably argued for its inclusion, and enough people played it to be like, yes, we should totally put that as a nominee. Because that's how nominations work. It's a panel of people in the industry who vote on stuff that they've played, and then enough people agree, and then it gets put on and then it gets a nomination. That's how nominations happen. Where is the cutoff date? I don't know. I would assume like right up until the end, because you're just voting, so it's like it probably wouldn't take much to vote on that stuff. And you know, obviously, like if a game comes out and does really well and is really popular, or is like in the news, you know, they probably do like an emergency or like an impromptu meeting about it. To be more cynical about it, the people that run the Game Awards probably saw that The Outer Worlds 2 was making headlines based on like the nature of its creation, and they thought maybe including it in our nominees lists will be good for our SEO and our visibility. Where is the cutoff date? Also, the trail snub is real. Which one? What Trails game came out this year? Trails in the Sky First Remake? Falcom is not as widely recognized of a company as you think it is my answer to that. I know everybody loves the Trail series, and the Trail series has its shooters, but Falcom games are not in the mainstream. And that's sort of like the short and end of it, the short and long of it. They're not that well known. Despite selling well, I will say, from what I understand, despite some of those Trails games selling well, Trails is still not, Falcom is still not in the same space as Atlas at the moment. I think it's getting there. But the people that probably vote on the Game Awards are probably not that tuned into RPGs that way. Also, the Game Awards are Western centric. The Game Awards are heavily Western / European. Like, you could make the argument, oh, but From Software, Souls games are very popular in the West. I'm not saying that, like, Japanese games don't have a place at the Game Awards or, like, don't exist at the Game Awards, but if the Western audience is not, if it's not mainstream in the West, it's not going to show up in the Game Awards. So yeah. They're doing it the way that Western audience likes, yeah. And like Falcom almost stopped publishing in the West. So, you know, that should kind of tell you what's up with that. I gotta go to this spot over here. There's a secret spot there. We will never see Dragon Quest getting recognition. Level 5 also almost said fuck the West. Yeah. I can see Dragon Quest winning something, or at least getting nominated. I can see Dragon Quest 12 doing that. I don't see a remake doing that. And that's also true. The Game Awards literally doesn't know what to do with Nintendo games. Because I think Pokemon ZA, well, again, it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to say because it really is up to the panelists. It really is up to the people on the panel. God, thank God. I was like, when am I leveling up to like not have like the worst? I think I truly do think it really just depends on the panelists. Like, what are the panelists like? And what are they like? What is within their range of whatever? That's how it always is, you know. I'm not saying that it's a negative thing. I'm just saying is that like you gotta go into it with that perspective. Now, you can look at the nominations and then have an opinion about who should probably win that category, and then probably, you know, be very confused when something wins that you don't feel really earned that or deserves it. The most surprising was choosing Sonic Racing over Mario Kart. I have bad news for the Mario Kart girlies. Apparently the Sonic Racer is like way better. I saw the Nintendo fanboys, fan people. Let's be better about that. I saw the Nintendo fan people being like, nah, I don't know about this Mario Kart, y'all. So I think that's very indicative of where that Mario Kart stands in the general public's eyes. Yeah, I think people are pretty mixed on it. But I think people saw the Sonic Racing one better. The Prime 4 Marvel character reveal still hurts. Oh, I want to talk about that. So So when I saw they were putting NPCs at Metroid Prime, I was like, ah, who cares? I was like, who cares? Like that doesn't change much, you know? That doesn't change anything. But then my friends, so I was talking about it with my friends, right? And I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. That's fine. Like, who cares? Like, I'm sure it'll be fine, whatever. And then, I didn't know, but I'd only seen like a cursory glance because like I don't watch trailers to things I don't care about, and I don't care about Metroid like in the slightest. Sometimes I'll like have an opinion about like when they said, oh, there's gonna be like an open world like desert area, I was like, I was like, hey guys, you know, as someone who plays a lot of video game series that have added open world areas like that to the game, or to the series rather, you know, this is probably gonna be like an in-between to areas and stuff, and I know that's like kind of weird for Metroid to do, but it probably won't be that big a deal. But anyway, I didn't look at the trailer for the NPC stuff, and we were talking about it in a voice call. I was in a voice call literally yesterday, I think, and my friends were talking about it, and they started quoting some of the things that the characters were saying from the trailer. And I believe my reaction was, that's what kind of characters they're like. And I was like, wait, they sound like that? That was my reaction. I was like, wait, they sound like that? And my friends were like, yeah, you didn't see it? And I was like, no, of course not. And they were like, yeah. So like they look like this, and then they showed me a picture of like the nerdy one, and they literally said, I forget what the fuck it was, but it was like Zoomer, like not even Zoomer, it was like Gen Alpha like slang that was like not even close to what it actually sounds like. And I went, oh no. I was like, I thought, so like, you know, I was giving Metroid the benefit, I was giving them the game the benefit of the doubt. I was giving it the game the benefit of the doubt. I assumed, oh, okay, they're just pissed off that there's like characters. You know what I mean? Like they're just pissed off that there's characters in the game. That Samus is just gonna be talking, bouncing off of like somebody else or whatever. But no, they're saying like weird, like they're saying like the stuff that people make fun of Marvel movies for doing. Cause when I heard, oh, it's Marvel now, I thought, oh, you're just upset because it's like gonna have like some kind of ensemble cast. But no, it's the fucking like they're written like shit. And I was like, oh, fuck. That's not good. Yeah, and then I had other people joking. So I learned that. And now I want to have a conversation with the friends of mine who are like, everyone's exaggerating. This is totally like, you know, this is just how Metroid has always been. If you don't think Metroid's like this, then you haven't been paying attention to Metroid in like years. Because that is a bad take. That's a bad take. Because I did see some of my friends saying that. I saw some of my friends who are Metroid fans. So, you know, I just took them at their word because I was like, yeah, you know, I trust you to have like a solid take on this. No. I was like, whoa. That's bad. Like I get wanting to defend the game for personal reasons or whatever, but like I would, if I were you, I would be upset, man. Not like upset in like a way that like, you know, oh, this is going to like forever change the trajectory of my life kind of upset, but like, I don't know, at least be like, man, this is like I think it's okay to be like, damn, this shit sucks. This shit's gonna suck. I think that's okay. I don't think you gotta defend that shit, like, you know? You can still go buy it and play it and have fun and still think that shit sucks, man. You can do that. I do that all the time. I play the Like a Dragon series. That entire experience is being like, man, I'm having a good time, but fuck, this sucks. The last time they made the Metroids talk, it was equally as annoying, so I think they're sort of right. It's literally the only thing every single preview and review complained about. I mean, yeah, because it's like the thing to complain about. That's another thing that I got confused about, is like people were like, all anyone's talking about are the NPCs and stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, because like, I don't think anybody has a problem with anything else in the game. Like, yeah, that is why can't we just talk about all the good things about it? I don't know, because like, I like having like a well-rounded conversation, and like, the thing that they're talking about is like so aggressively like at the forefront of like their advertising for the game that it's like, wasn't it like a trailer specifically for the NPCs? Like, yeah, man, like that's what we're talking about. That's the conversation. Like right now we're talking about the NPC stuff. Okay, it's only been about, because I woke up and I saw all that stuff and I was like, oh, okay. But like I saw people being like, oh, I wish everybody would just stop talking about this. And I looked at my watch and I was like, it's been about 3 hours. And I was like, you know, it's only been about 3 hours. I know we're kind of inventing the guy pretty quick. We should wait a little bit, you know. You should give it about a month. Maybe a month's too long. You should maybe give it about like another day or two. See if anyone's still talking about it after that. And lo and behold, no one's talking about it anymore. Because, you know, everybody decided to talk about it when it was the subject of conversation, and then they moved on. People get so weird. It's like, yeah, people, oh man, everyone's talking about this stupid shit and it's so frustrating. I mean, yeah, man, people talk about things that are, people like discussing current events and topical subjects. They don't like discussing why, they don't like having like another hour and a half discussion about why you hate a game from 2007 and why you think the game from 2007 was bad. Most people like having, you know, conversations about the stuff that's happening now. Because everybody that always complains about people talking about stuff in the current event, like not even disagreeing with them, but just like complaining and being annoyed that people are talking about it, they're always the same fucking people that like want to talk to you about their like weird fixation on why, let me pick a good one. They always want to have like a weird fixation on why Devil May Cry 2 is the worst game that was ever made in the franchise. And they're always the person that every time you hang out with them, they keep bringing up Devil May Cry 2 and they keep wanting to have conversations about Devil May Cry 2. And then when we're not talking about Devil May Cry 2, they're like, oh God, everyone's always talking about this other stuff and nobody ever talks about Devil May Cry 2. And it's like, yeah, man, because you have the monopoly on talking about Devil May Cry 2 and I'm fucking tired of hearing you talk about it. And it's nice to talk about something else for a change. Sorry. Got a little carried away on that one. I'm very glad I picked the Devil May Cry 2 because there's literally no one I know that does that. but I know people that do it for other games. But it's like, yeah, man, like fucking, I'm like, fuck. I don't want to fucking talk to you about Devil May Cry 2 anymore. I want to talk about what's on the news. I want to talk about sports. I want to talk about good food places to eat at. I want to talk about like the discourse. I want to talk about the discourse, god damn it. I want to talk about stuff that people are talking about. I like having stupid conversations about topical things. Because I'm a fucking social fucking human being and I'm not a weird antisocial like nut job. I'm sorry. I like being up to date. I like discussing the flavor of the week. I love it. I love it. Fuck, I love it so goddamn much. Whoa, I didn't mean to time you out. Whoa. I didn't time you out. Hold on. How do I untime you out? How do you untime someone out? No, so it got auto-modded, and then I allowed it, and then I think when I allowed it, Moobot caught it. And then Moobot was like, no. Moobot vetoed my admin decision. Wield your phaser wisely. It's spelled with a K. I'm so confused. Oh, it's because it has the slur. It's because it has the slur in it. Like, the words that make up that word has a slur in it. That's why it's doing it. Shit, did I check the other one? Actually, now I want to know. Now I'm curious if that's the actual word for it. Food? Oh. Well, there's a restaurant called that. Oh. Kinkali. Kinkali. Yeah. That looks good. I can't be looking at food like that. Been trying to cut back on ordering Uber Eats all the time because I have a problem. How good is your roundhouse kick? Your roundhouse kick is not too bad. I think they turned the Prince of Caradoc into more of a glass cannon. But anyway. Yeah. The hell was I talking about? I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Whatever. I don't know. Today I'm just really annoyed by people that are like being really stupid about other people talking about stuff. Like, just, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, there's no way to complain about the way people complain about things without also complaining about things. So you have two options. You can just not complain about anything ever, which is probably a sign of some kind of like repressed behavior, or you and is likely to cause problems for you in the future when you finally cannot keep your mouth shut, and the only way you know how to like communicate your frustrations is to be explosively angry or incredibly toxic. Or you can just like complain about stuff and just allow yourself to complain about stuff. You know, that's my take. You should just allow yourself to be kind of like a petty, annoying asshole. Because like, I think 20% of your life is going to be spent being a petty little asshole. And that's like kind of normal. I think it's normal that you're a petty little asshole sometimes. You know, and I think the only time it becomes a problem is when you don't let other people be a petty little asshole. Or you expect other people to not be a petty little asshole about who you are. Yeah. I don't really care about the new Fire Emblem yet. I'm excited, I'm interested. But I really have no opinions on it. Comes off the back of a game that had a better grasp on skin tones. Well, see that you can be mad about. That's something worth being mad about. You know, that I'll let you have. You know, I thought you were talking about like, I don't know. I thought you were gonna like go off about like, I don't know, like what the premise of the game was or something. Yeah, but again, Engaged, was it Engaged that did it? No, which one are you talking about, Bat? Are you talking about Three Houses or Engage as the previous Fire Emblem? Also, that's not true. Japan, there are people in Japan that are good. There are people in Japan that are good about skin tones and stuff like that. I actually think Pokemon might do a decent job of that, surprisingly. Like, of all the fucking games, like Pokemon, like I do distinctly recall that Pokemon does a pretty solid job of like having good skin tone stuff in it. I think they'd be better if they had more money to do it, but you know. Pokemon just ended up getting washed out by the 3D entries. Yeah. But I would argue that like the 3D entries stuff for Pokemon is like, I think it's like everything's washed out in the 3D entries. I would argue that. I would argue that the 3D Pokemon games I've like just suffered in general from just looking kind of shitty. When I was on Yakushima, the Shoshi chef at the restaurant was actually the first openly racist Japanese person I met in my life. Literally refused all other Westerners after I entered the restaurant by yelling "No Gaijin." It's all that fucking over tourism, man. Unfortunate. I don't condone it. Yakushima doesn't have over tourism. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter if the specific city doesn't have that problem, if it's like a conversation that the entire country of Japan is having. I know it's been a thing for a while, but like, like, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I ate his sushi and I will never see him again. You should have told him his sushi was sucked. You should, well, I mean, that would only prove his point, but fuck it. He's gonna talk shit about you anyway. But it was really good. Who cares? He was an asshole. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, you gotta be careful about assuming that everyone in Japan is racist or everyone in Japan is like bad at doing color stuff, because it operates under the assumption that brown people and black people don't exist in Japan, and it's like objectively false. It is just incredibly false to assume that Japanese people wouldn't or shouldn't know how to like get dark skin tones correct, especially because we have Japanese games that do a good job of that. Unfortunately, there is a problem where people just assume Japan doesn't, like, people just assume that Japan is bad at things because Japan is like out of touch with the rest of the world, when in reality that's not really the case. It just so happens that conservative people make video games too. And you know, shitty people make video games in Japan just like shitty people in the West make video games and say shitty things with them. I think they just don't care. Again, you cannot make sweeping generalizing statements. You cannot make sweeping generalizations and assume that people in Japan don't care about colorism and racism. That's just not true. You can go look at an interview with Tomino, the creator of Gundam, from like back in the day, and you will know that that's just not true. It is just not true. There are, in fact, Japanese people, or rather, Japanese people are perfectly aware of racism and like harmful depictions of people. Not to the extent we care, because it's a much more homogenic society. Again, I don't think that's true either. I think that is also an exaggeration that not great mindsets in Japan want people to assume about Japan, because it makes their perspective stronger. Like, I don't think it's that homogenous. I don't think Japanese society is that homogenous. I do think that Japanese culture perhaps tends to adhere, or at least a prevailing thought in Japanese culture tends to adhere to a status quo that should not be disrupted. But many young people in Japan don't agree with that. There are plenty there's plenty of debate and plenty of conflict there, and plenty of like young minds and older minds even, and people that have over the course of history tried to move and change that. I can tell you that outside of the big centers, they are more homogenous. Spending a month in Japan does not mean you know that Japan is entirely homogenous. I can go to any city in the United States as a tourist and assume that the culture there is totally homogenous, because all I have is an outside perspective. Like, you can say that literally people can go anywhere in the world and spend a certain amount of time in a city like that and just assume, oh yeah, it's a really homogenous culture. Of course it's gonna look homogenous to you. You don't live there. You don't live there. You interacted with the businesses, and they spoke to you the way they would speak to customers, or that one racist guy was like a racist, or like, you know, redneck is redneck no matter where we go. But currently I live in a redneck city, and I guarantee you, I promise you, if you came to visit, you would be like, wow, a lot of rednecks. But if you actually lived here, you would know that a lot of people are not. A lot of people just kind of look like rednecks, but they're not actually rednecks. And like, that's the problem with saying like, oh, you know, oh yeah, everyone there's homogenous. Like, have you been there? It doesn't matter. You don't know that. You should never assume homogeny in any culture, unless it's like, unless the homogeny is brought about by oppressive forces, in which case, then it's not actually homogenous. It's just forced to appear homogenous to the outside observer. I need more tombola tickets. Also, what the fuck? I went up onto the shrine and I didn't get anything. Did I misread? Me living in a region of Germany with you. Yeah, but do all of those families all agree on the same things? Do they all get along? Do they all believe in the same stuff? Do they all like the same things? Do they all do the same shit? You can't say that for sure. Like, you don't know everybody that lives in your city. You can assume you can make that assumption, but that doesn't mean your assumption is correct. And also, like, what do you mean by homogeny? Like, what are you referring to? Oh, you know what? I think I literally went to the wrong place. You know that spot that I was like, oh, we'll go there after? I think that was it. This is going to be one hell of a VOD. People are going to come here for Dragon Quest and they're going to get hit with like all sorts of crazy shit. Okay, but now you're talking about like DNA. Now you're talking about genetics. I'm not talking about genetics. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm talking about like people's views on things. Like that's how we started. We started talking about people's views on things. In terms of like, yeah, Japanese people know what black people look like. Japanese people know about the rest of the world. Like, they look at shit from outside of their country. Like you, okay, you are a German person, I assume, who is watching an American streamer in English who went to Japan, and you went to Japan because you wanted to go to Japan because you knew about Japan and you knew that Japanese stuff you like. Who knows that black people exist? Who knows what black people look like? Who understands the concepts of, like, you know, colorism and understanding skin tone differences and how to like draw those things, and like you understand that like people, like when you're designing a character like that, you have the common sense to be like, yeah, you should probably look into how to do that well, right? Why is a Japanese person who has the same amount of access to the same amount of information that you do, because they live in a developed country just like you do, they live in a globalized country just like you do, why would they be any different? I live in a rural town in Florida. I live in an equestrian town in Florida. Okay? I live next to a barn. I know people who grew up here. Who grew up in this part of the country, who grew up in this part of the state, who know that stuff about skin tone differences and black people and cultural stuff and all this other shit. Like, I know people, I know people who, by your definition, wouldn't know it, or by your like assertion, wouldn't know stuff, but they do. Why are Japanese people different? Why would they be different? Why would they have less access to less information? Why would they be more ignorant of this stuff? They're not. We know that because we know Japanese creators, we know popular Japanese people who come out and talk about this stuff on Japanese television, on Japanese websites, in interviews. Like, they are not exceptions to the rule. They have the same amount of information as any other Japanese citizen. Japanese people know better. So if someone's racist in Japan, they don't get a pass to be racist in Japan. If someone does something poorly in Japan, or does like a harmful depiction of someone in their thing, they don't get the pass. They don't get like the, oh, well, it's different, or like, you know, I can see the, they don't get that because that's not true. Yes, people have different sets of values, but having different sets of values has nothing to do with awareness. Like, having different values is one thing. Like, being racist or adhering to stereotypes that are easily knowing there is a difference. There is a huge difference between your traditional upbringing and like you looking at a person of color and having incorrect thoughts about them, or having harmful thoughts about them, or depicting them harmfully in your creative work, because in the process of making that creative work, you would be thinking about that stuff. And we know that's true because you can look at Akira Toriyama's artwork and the way he depicts people of color in the 80s and 70s versus the way he started to depict them towards the end of his life. Those values have changed. People are more connected now. Those values have changed. Like yes, you might have different values than I do, and a Japanese person might have different values than I do, but that has nothing to do with cultural sensitivity or cultural awareness or racial awareness or concepts of colorism or the concepts of racism. I would imagine Japanese people are very familiar with racism. They understand that concept. They know what that's like. They know from their own experiences and with other Asian countries and like the way that those things are talked about, like they recognize racism. They know harmful depictions of other people. They know that in a different way, right? Like xenophobia and stuff like that, right? Like it is slightly different, but they know the principles of that behind that. They are not stupid. Like, they can apply those things to other things. How much emphasis they put on that societal issue compared to others? Yes, but that does not remove them from criticism. That does not, you cannot give them an out. Like, that does not mean that it's like, you know, that we should couch the racist depiction. You know, that's the thing is like you can't go into that conversation with this idea, you know, a different set of priorities. I'll be honest. How much money do you need? How much money do you really need to Google proper shading for black skin tones? Yeah, it probably is less important to them. And that's something that you can be critical about. They should probably care more about that, considering that they have a population of black people in Japan. That is a demographic in Japan. And it is not like for nothing. Like there are black people in Japan. There are brown people in Japan. There are brown Japanese people. There are black Japanese people. It doesn't matter how small the demographic is. It doesn't matter how small the demographic is. It just doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There is no... It doesn't matter because it's a smaller demographic and yet you're still going to include them in your video games and portray them harmfully. So it does matter. It does matter because you want to use their designs, and in other places they fetishize those designs, but they don't bother to get them right. Because you were raised in a value system that places more emphasis on the individual. How is that emphasis on the individual? I'm talking about like an entire like ethnicity or race of people. How is that emphasis on the individual? Like colorism in Japan is like like that's a studied thing by Japanese scholars. Like that's not an individualism thing. That's a collectivism thing. If anything, racism in and of itself is an individualistic principle because it is setting yourself apart from somebody else based on some sort of attribute. Class society prioritizes larger ethnicities and demographics over minorities. So do individualistic societies. Do you think America prioritizes minorities over white people? Obviously not. I would assume I know you would be like, no, of course not. Of course not. So it's not so it has nothing to do with individualism versus collectivism. Yeah, it prioritizes rich people over poor people. But that has nothing to do, okay, but that's not an ethnicity or an actual demographic. That's classism, which is also present in Japan. Japan is also has classism issues. So like, again, like that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the capacity for a Japanese person to understand what a harmful portrayal of a black person is. And my argument is that they would know that and they are worth criticizing for that, and that there is no excuse for it because they are not, like, despite how their culture functions, like, it makes no, like, it does not change. Like, you cannot justify harmful portrayals of another person based on this idea that there is an ignorance about it that is okay or allowed based on a misconception that their culture simply does not have awareness of them. But they do. They do, because otherwise, why are they xenophobic in the first place? Or came out that is more likely just neglect because they have it much lower on their priority totem pole. No, my criticism is that it should be higher on the totem pole. That's my criticism. I am aware that it's a lower priority for them. That's the problem I have. That's the problem I have. It's on a lower priority for them, but they continue to depict people of color in their games, so maybe it should be a higher priority for them if they continue to do that. And before anyone says it, oh, then should they just not have black people in their games? No, they should. But you should do it and then do it well. Nobody asks you to do something and then for you to do it poorly. They want you to do it well. If I need someone to do my laundry for me, I don't want them to do a shit job at it. I want them to do it well. Because then otherwise, the laundry doesn't actually get done, now does it? Anyway. Sorry, VOD viewers. You had to get hit with that shit. I didn't mean to bring my Like a Dragon persona into my Dragon Quest persona, but here I am. It's not your fault, Bad. It's fine. Anyway, we're getting Moonbrook now. I like that we had the shitty discussion about this stuff at the same time as I was going through a poison swamp. I felt like it was thematically appropriate. Damn, it broke. I don't want it to break.
Where am I?
Girl, you were a dog
Cousin
girl for a
Cannock.
while.
Princess! Praise the Almighty!
But why are you... And why am I...
Well, Moonbrook was attacked, and...
But of course, countless fiends have set upon the castle. Father needs my help. Quickly, cousins, we must hie to Moonbrook's defense.
Nope.
Wherefore do you tarry so?
We are but recently returned from the castle, or what remains of it. We found...
Also, yeah, I'm not sitting here being like America's so much better at this. No, it's a problem everywhere, but that's sort of my point.
I see
Like, it literally doesn't matter where you come from. This is a problem
There's nothing
everywhere.
to apologize for. You have been through so much. You must rest. Come, we will carry you.
I know not how to thank you. I feel much more myself now.
And full glad am I to hear it. May I suggest we rest here for the night before making for Middenhall in the morning? You can stay there in safety till all this is over.
No, she's joining.
No, I will not. I will not rest until Hargon is dead.
Hargon? The name feels somewhat familiar. Yes. He was the villain behind the sacking of Renderak, was he not? You mean to say that he was behind the attack on...
I do. Moonbrook fell by his hand. I shall be ever grateful to you for restoring me to my senses. But I did not survive to be locked away in a gilded cage. Besides, neither Cannock nor Middenhall will ever be truly safe while the High Priest yet lives. This is why I must have his head.
It is as you say, Princess. Nowhere is safe anymore. No matter how our fathers fortify our kingdoms against these fiends, we should always be living in fear. And I, for one, balk at it. Don't you, cuz? Your cause is ours, Princess. Together we shall restore peace to this fair realm. True peace.
It pleases me immeasurably to hear it.
And yet, I ask that you allow us to return to Cannock and Middenhall first. Our fathers bade us report what we discovered here, and I would not disappoint them.
Yes, of course. If I might ask something of you in turn, I would visit Moonbrook Castle. I must needs see the aftermath with mine own eyes.
Let's do it.
For now, I think it best we all get some rest while we can. We have much to do on the morrow.
I really want to play South of Midnight and Tales of Kenzao. I think I bought Tales of Kenzao.
Psst, wake up. Sorry, I know you are tired, but there is a matter of much import I would discuss with you. Would you step outside with me a while?
Oh, okie dokie. Oh, is South of Midnight a Microsoft thing? Fuck. I hope I already bought it. I can't give them money, but if I already bought it, then we're good. Is the whole gang together? The original gang is. Where the fuck is he? Hello? My guy? My dude? Oh, Jesus. Is this guy seriously gonna block the way? Oh, man.
My apologies. I did not want to risk the princess overhearing us. I have been thinking. We are all three of us descended from the hero of legend, are we not? And come the morrow, we embark upon a quest to end the ambitions of the fiendish High Priest Hargon. At first I deemed it destiny. We three scions of Erdrick striving together for the same cause. Yet the more I thought upon it, the more my doubts grew. As the matter stands, we do not fight for the same cause she does. You and I fight to protect those we cherish, but she has already lost them. The princess fights to exorcise the grief and anger that cloud her heart. We may never be able to soothe the princess's pain, nor replace her family. But perhaps we can offer her another. Though I must say I doubt she will ever think of me as family when I am constantly calling her princess. Do you think she would bristle if I called her sweet cuz? Perhaps it is a little too familiar. Ah, cousin, then. Or perhaps simply by her name. On that matter, do tell me should I say something foolish. I can be an awful blunderer at times. Perhaps even most times. Thank you, cousin. We two make a fine team. And so shall we three.
That was actually a nice scene. I thought that was gonna get kind of weird, but no. I kind of like this depiction of Cannock.
3 paths lie before us. 1 to Cannock, 1 to Middenhall, and 1 to Moonbrook Castle. We must walk all 3, but not necessarily in that order.
Quite. Let us take our leave. Just a moment. If we are to travel together, then I see little need to stand on ceremony. Pray, call me cousin. Or, if you would rather, sweet cuz.
She heard their conversation.
Did you hear that? I was right all
Oh,
along.
he's a
It is
dumbass.
destiny.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's awesome. That's adorable. Come on. That's so adorable. They do the reintroduction. Oh, my heart. Oh. I love that. What the fuck? That was so cute. What the hell? Alright. How long have we been streaming for? 2.5 hours? Oh god, and I spent the entire thing talking shit. It's good to be back, folks. It's good to be back. Fucking A. That's a cursed ring. I'm gonna double up her defense. Does the dancer's outfit change your clothes? Thank God it doesn't. Okay. She should take the scholar's cap. Sorry, Cannock. And Caradoc should grab a pointy hat instead. That seems good to me. I think I'm gonna go. I do have a considerable amount of gold. Let's go upgrade her like thing. I think I'll go until like 6 p.m. So like in like 45 minutes we'll call it. But for now, let's keep going. I like the pink, yellow, and blue palettes. It's always ethical to make fun of the British. Sure. They're already cursed with their food. They did it to themselves. Always punch up, never punch down. So saith G.C. Vasquez. Tombola ticket is 4. It's at 4. Let's go to the Moonbrook first, because it's the closest one. Oh, Frizz. Learn Frizz. Yes. Good. Can't let decent people eat that. Oh, and now that we're here, so you're getting all the magic seeds. Cannock needs more luck. Seed of agility. Cannock is fast. I would like him to be even faster. Seed of defense. I'm gonna give it to Gawain. Seed of wisdom. We're gonna have to kind of like give these to both of them. Gawain's gonna get more HP. Gawain's gonna get the strength. Gawain's gonna get the stamina. Yeah. That works for me. Bag this, bag that, bag this, bag that. Bag. Yeah. Organize my items. Perfect. Chimera wing me to Moonbrook. The stat spread plan, yeah. I am ready for the 4th character. Do you have safe passage? You have holy protection, which is she's got nose for you got buried treasure. Excuse me? What do you mean buried treasure? Where? How? Is that because you were a dog? Can you dig for buried treasure because you were a dog? Okay. It's rude to be mean. I think crack is what you're weak again. Call of the Wild. Summons a wolf. They did. They did. They turned her into a dog girl. She's Gabbo. They made her a puppy girl. What the hell? That's funny as hell.
Can this truly be the self-same throne?
Is aught the matter?
What does puppy girl mean? Don't worry about it.
Moonbrook here, the emblem of the crown, but it is gone.
What? You do not mean the monster stole it?
I cannot say for certain, though I can think of no other explanation.
Princess!
Chancellor! Guards!
That guy sounded like
You-
Liam O'Brien for a
you're
second.
alive.
And so art thou! Oh, Highness, I thought that we had lost thee. Words cannot express how my heart soareth this moment.
The feeling is certainly mutual. 'Tis a miracle that you are unharmed.
No miracle, Highness. Only happenstance. When the fiends attacked, we were leagues northwest of here, making for Rippleport at thy royal father's behest. Were it not for this, we too would surely have...
Why Rippleport?
The town is a maritime gateway to the rest of the realm. His Majesty had hoped to expand our trade routes, and sent us to inquire about securing ships for said purpose.
This sounds precisely the sort of place we ought to visit. With a vessel of our own, we could hunt our quarry across the realm. Though I confess, I haven't the slightest inkling how one might go about securing a ship.
It shameth me to admit it, Highness, but neither do I. Alas, our journey to Rippleport ended at the Dragon's Horns.
The pair of towers on the road to the west, beyond the plains.
Indeed, Princess. A great stretch of water lieth betwixt the two. One far too wide to swim across. And, well, without a boat.
Blast! For a moment I thought our next destination was decided. To Rippleport, and thence to sail the seas in search of High Priest Hargon. But if we cannot even reach Rippleport, how are we to find him? Let alone slay him?
You mean to? Lo, Princess, thou art a beacon of hope for us all. Alas, so long as the strait remaineth unpassable.
Chancellor, forgive the intrusion, but dost thou recall the time His Majesty leapt from the highest tower of the castle?
Thou speakest of father.
Indeed. Our kingdom is home to a cloak known as the Windbreaker, said to allow its wearer to glide through the skies. One day, His Majesty decided to test the theory.
Aye, my lord. If thou rememberest, His Majesty came down leagues from the castle. And so I thought, if one were to leap from the top of the dragon's horns wearing the Windbreaker, one might yet reach the far bank.
An inspired proposal. Though, wherefore didst thou neglect to share this when we were by the towers?
For that we did not have the Windbreaker with us, my lord. And furthermore, for that I feared how an aerial voyage might bear upon thine aged frame.
Ah, yes, well...
The princess and her companions, however, should have no such concerns.
We shall use this windbreaker to soar across the strait to Rippleport, shall we not?
Let's do it. Where is it though? It's probably in the Pillar of Wind where we were
In
just
that
at.
case, allow me to bequeath this unto thee, Princess.
Is it the Thief Key?
There lieth a tower to the southeast, known as the Pillar of the Winds. It houseth the Windbreaker that was once thy father's. This key will grant thee entrance. Pray allow us to handle matters here in Moonbrook, Highness. As for thine own journey, thou must follow the whispers of thy heart.
I shall, Chancellor. Come then, cousins, to the Pillar of the Winds.
You may have noticed. That's funny. So I think it's kind of cool. Just like a slight little detail here. The Prince of Middenhall has the Erdrick insignia on his shield because he is a tank and he protects others, and that's like his thing. The Prince of Cannock has it on his chest because he's a very like he casts spells that come from within and he does healing magic. So it's like he has strength of heart. And the Moonbrook princess has it on her head because she's the traditional mage. And she casts the offensive spells. Haha. You have the healer, the tank, and the mage, and the insignia is on the parts of their bodies that are synonymous with their specialties. I think that's kind of neat. Do I have swish or whatever? I do. She's got the swish. And there you go. She's also clearly the smart one. You know? Not for nothing. Can you dig here? There's like 4 more treasures to find here. Which means it's buried treasure. So sick. Also, that howl, that's a good howl. That is a solid howl. I bet it's there. We will get an announcement for Dragon Quest with the Jeff Awards. Man, that'd be dope. That'd be dope as hell on my birthday. That'd be awesome. Wherever I was gonna dig, it was gonna be there. I got something. It was not counts as treasure. Okay, so buried treasure doesn't count as items you can find. That's good to know. Dragon Quest 12, now rated M for mature. That'd be fine. Again, that'd be fine as long as it's like good. I don't really care about the rating it gets. I'm not really concerned about that, but I kind of wish I could like exorcise some of the ghosts. I have one wish, don't abandon turn-based. I don't think they will. My assumption is that they won't. I think that's too far, and I don't think they do that. But who knows? Vinnie Jones is a character and have his dialogue as swear words. Who's Vinnie Jones? I got a snooze stick. Let's go to Cannock. Oh, side quest. Why is there a side quest? I'm confused. Why did he have a side quest marker? Interesting. Were these closed, or is it just letting me know that they have new inventory? Is that it? Is it just new inventory that they're letting me know exists? I think that's all it is. I am definitely getting you a cloak of evasion, my man. You will need it. I don't really need an iron shield right now. Did I ever explore this place sufficiently? I missed one treasure on this level. Oh, I'm gonna need the magic key for this. Let's go talk to the Cannockians. Oh, she's not in her room. What's good? Look who it is.
Princess, full glad am I to see thee whole and hale. But what of thy father?
Alas, I alone escaped the assault on Moonbrook.
It cannot be. It simply cannot be. Mighty Moonbrook.
We can only imagine what thou hast suffered, dear child. If there is aught we might do.
You are kind indeed. All of you.
So, where next? Journeyest thou to Middenhall?
Oh, the Princess of Cannock is slightly taller than Moonbrook.
Mean to take on foul Hargon?
Better that than to live in fear. To live in a world governed by fear.
Valiant words
Do people
indeed,
bitch about the
my
old
son.
English in this game? Scared
This
of
is
people who
not
play
a
Dragon
fight
Quest just
that
know
may
what
be
they're in
walked
for.
away from with mere cuts and bruises.
Dragon Quest localization
Knowing
like
this,
this has
thou
been
wouldst
really
still
good for
venture
like
forth
a
to
really
face
long
me?
time. So like this is kind of a staple of it at this point.
Truly,
Although the old
the
English
blood of
stuff
mighty Erdrick doth flow through my
really
veins.
only
What
started
over
this
these lands
strongly
my absence
in
fell?
the
Over
remake of
Cannock
3
itself,
that
over
came out
Poyon's
last
Gate,
year.
Over the lakes and the lands beyond. Know
Um,
not when the fiends might
but I think it
strike
got a
again.
lot better. I think this is the best localization they've done in a long in a while. This is the best localization they've done yet. Is the way I'll put it.
Cannock's defenses will be redoubled. Thou needest not worry on that score.
It wasn't mostly layman English. Dragon Quest 4 on DS and Dragon Quest.
Ah, one more
The
thing.
the difficult part is that like
sigils. It seems they seek them out. No, you.
so Dragon Quest 4
Sigils.
on DS actually has a lot of
They
regional
knew the
dialects
5 great symbols of power made so long ago by mighty
in it,
Erdrick.
and Dragon Quest 11 also does it, but it's regional dialects from a different
I
part of
have
the
heard
world,
tell of these,
different parts of the
though
world.
they seem to the naked
Like, but
eye
if you
as
play
mere
Dragon Quest 4
stones.
on DS, you'll get a really good sense of like what
Great
modern
power
like a
upon
dragon,
those who wield them.
modern Dragon Quest localization
Power
is,
destructive
which is
and redemptive
they're
both.
very good about giving every area a different regional dialect to make them stand out.
Pains to acquire them. Do they covet that self-same power? Perhaps?
Yeah, Middle English.
We can only guess. As to the fiend's motive, and alas, as to the whereabouts of the sigils. For it is not known where or in whose keeping mighty Erdrick left them.
But wheresoever they may be, They cannot be suffered to fall into the hands of those who would use them for evil. And if Hargon's
I mentioned this last time, but I love the fact that when they talk about Erdrick here, they're talking about the guy from the first game. They don't even remember the guy from the third one. They don't even remember original Erdrick.
Proof of thy bloodline to any who might seek such proof.
Like, that's how far in the future this is. Like, they're not even talking about Dragon Quest III Erdrick. They're talking about Dragon Quest I Erdrick.
Thank you, Father, Mother. Now, I must away to adventure.
And that makes sense, yeah.
Thee, beloved son, and shouldst thou ever find thyself in need, do not hesitate to return to us here.
You guys got anything behind your thrones? No. Okay, she's not ready yet. Oh, also, can I equip that mark on you? I can't, it's just a key item. I actually want to make a video about the quote-unquote timeline. I do want to do that. Cause yeah, 11 is pretty cool. For the people that don't know, without going too deep into it, and I promise this won't make sense to you. 11 is the first and last game in the timelines. It's the first and last one. Okay. It's not technically the first and last one. That's because it's the ace. It can be 1 or 11. That's a very fun way of putting it, but no. It's not technically the first and last one, but like, if you play Dragon Quest 11, that message makes that saying makes a lot more sense. Like, it makes it like if you just hear, oh, it's the first and last one in the timeline, you're like, what the fuck does that mean? But if you play 11 and you beat 11, it makes a lot more sense. I do want to make a video on that, and I want to make a video on my for people who have seen my video on for people who have seen my video on Dragon Quest 11, or I forget which video. For people who have seen my Dragon Quest videos, you'll know that I have like a very specific take on the story of Dragon Quest, sort of like the through line of the series, and like the sort of like the specifics, not the specifics, but like sort of like my take on like what the difference, like if you follow Dragon Quest, you sort of get an idea of like there is some sort of like storyline here about like one person's life, right? And personally, what I believe it to be is sort of like Yuji Horii exploring his like feelings about family, and like talking about like his own journey as like a young person who became a father and probably subsequently became a grandfather and stuff like that, right? And you're sort of like, when you play these games and you pay attention to the familial aspects of it, familial as in literally of family, the conversations around like what a family is and what it means to have a family and be a family and love somebody to that degree, and like the experiences of becoming a parent and having to take care of someone and falling in love and setting out and becoming something beyond just your family and growing up and all this other stuff. If you look at it through that, if you look at the entire series through that lens, you know, I firmly believe there is a story there, and I firmly believe that it is Yuji Horii sort of exploring his like his own life, sort of coming to terms with different things and stuff like that and whatnot. And I would very much like to make a video about that. I've talked about it before here, as you all are painfully aware, because I kind of just like rotate between the same topics of conversation over the course of like 6 months. But yeah, I want to make a video on that because I think that's really compelling and really strong, and I think these games have made it even stronger. I think these games have made it even stronger. Beyond this point, only reprobates and wrongdoers too dangerous to approach. This is a post-game dungeon of some kind. Either a post-game dungeon of some kind or some other thing. I don't want to give Moonbrook... I'm going to give this to Cannock, simply because Cannock still doesn't do a whole lot. I'd love to watch that. I would love to do it. I would love to do it. That's a magic key door, by the way, so it's probably not post-game. It's probably something I gotta do sooner than later. But yeah, I really want to make that video. Maybe after I'm done moving and I'm settled in and I've got everything under control, I'll work on that. Sorry, thinking about making videos just made me really sad. So let's not focus on that. We are playing Dragon Quest. Hey, Captain. He doesn't want to have anything to do with me right now.
Princess of Moonbrook, it is truly a relief to see thee well.
Hey, Dad.
Thou hast done
I
me
brought my
right
cousins.
proud in seeing the princess safely back to us, my son.
I'm pretty sure the guy that voices this guy is the
You,
guy that voiced
young
Cao Cao
Cannock,
in
thy
Dynasty Warriors
father sent
Origins.
tidings of thine own heroism.
If anyone who's played
Thank thee for
if anyone who's
resolving
played
to
Dynasty
accompany
Warriors
my son on his
Origins
travels.
remembers what Cao Cao sounds like in the English dub, please listen to this guy and confirm for me if he sounds like the same guy. Because to me, it sounds like the same fucking guy.
Moonbrook is...
I see. So Hargon is indeed abroad once more. We must give thanks at least that thou wert delivered safely unto Middenhall, Princess. Thou hast suffered much, but thou wilt suffer no longer while I yet live. Pray, remain here in the castle, that no further danger might befall thee.
Thou hast my thanks, Majesty.
It sounds like him.
And yet I cannot
I can't believe the
accept
one
his
line I shut up
kindness.
to hear for him to speak. He doesn't.
I am
He sounds
resolved
less
to
like
journey
it
with
now.
my cousins, to
But every
see
other
how
line, he
God
sounds just like
pays
him.
for his crimes.
Thou art. We know not even where Hargon is to be found, and yet you would seek him out wheresoever he may be and slay him.
We would, and we will not be swayed. We will fight to the last to see that none of the other realms suffers the fate that befell Moonbrook. For we are the descendants of mighty Erdrick, and this is our duty.
Indeed it is, and I applaud your recognition of it. Why, I'm halfway inclined to accompany you myself.
And yet thou must needs remain here and guard thy realm. We understand, Majesty. None can know when the Horde might strike again.
You speak the truth, of course. My duty lieth here in Mittenhall. The duty of ridding us of foul Hargon and returning peace to this world must fall to you, young heroes. I await your triumphant return. Thou wilt prevail, my son. Thou must. This should prove, should such proof ever be required, that thou art of the...
You said the Dragon Quest thing!
It aid thee in thy quest.
Thou must. He said it! This is my throne. This is where I usually sit. Because my mom is gone. So I get to sit next to my dad. Oh well. Well, we got the marks, and now we gotta go to the Pillar of Wind to do this other thing. Blah, 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 blah. But I think we're gonna call it here. And then tomorrow, when we come back, I will go on my little thief key adventure and open up all the thief key doors that we haven't opened yet. And then we will go to the Wind Shrine, or the Pillar of Winds, and do that. So for now, thank you all for joining me today, everybody. Sorry that we got into a conversation about, I guess, heady stuff or heavy stuff. I don't know. Nowadays, people seem kind of tired about that kind of shit, so I feel like I got to apologize. Anyway, take care. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and until then, or until next time, wait, and I'll see you next time. There we go. That's how it goes. Anyway, bye!